Can we finally stop telling people to stop enabling macros?
Tony, tell us how Microsoft plans to solve all of our email security issues.
Well, I don't know if everything's going to be solved, but starting in April of this year, they are going to make a dramatic change to one of the main attack vectors used within email security or even internet-based browsing, and that is the wonderful world of macros within Office files. So what they are planning on doing is restricting the ability for individuals to basically detonate nefarious macros within various Office products. MS Access, Excel, PowerPoint, Word, Visio, those are the main applications that they're focused on. So starting in April, they're going to slowly start bringing this change out across all of their various channels, in addition to their Word products going from Office 2021 all the way down to 13. So they're staggering it across. And it's going to be a benefit. So basically, just a little bit of history for everyone watching. You get an email or you get an Office document, and you go to open it up, and it contains a macro. Right now, there is a warning, and it goes into a read-only mode. But all you got to do is one click, and it'll allow that macro to be run. And when that happens, malware can actually be run if the macro is of nefarious nature. So this is definitely a huge issue. What they're going to do is they're going to remove the read-only part of it. So it's not a one-click enable, but what they're going to do is they're going to look for if that file was flagged as mark of the web, which means was it downloaded from the internet? And if so, it's going to flag those files. And instead of getting the read-only mode click to enable macros, it's going to have a banner that says that it is restricted. This is a security thing, and you need to be careful with what you're about to do. Now, that doesn't give you the option for a one-click enable. For you to be able to do it, you literally have to get out of the file, go into its properties, and select unblock. Now, that, when you open it back up, will allow that macro to be run because you're taking all those extra steps, and it's not that lazy, oh, just click here and be done with it. So the person's going to have to really consider, do they want to go through all those steps to enable something they might not know? And that's going to decrease the amount of social engineering that's done with these file attachment types, whether it is email or if it's any other method for these files to get to your desktop. This should protect not only individuals with their machines at home, but also various corporations, actually all corporations that run Office files. So I'm looking forward to see what they're going to do in April and how they're going to progress this out. So I think it is a huge, huge positive change for how malware is going to be prevented. I don't know what the bad actors are going to do to try to circumvent them. Typically with bad actors, I always use the analogy that for security, whether you're at home or you're in an enterprise environment, is we build walls. So you build walls to protect so the bad guys don't come in. And bad guys always build a bigger ladder. You build their walls. So it's this ongoing thing, but I got a feeling this is really going to have the actors take a step back and try to figure out this low-hanging fruit that's been out there for, a long time, decades. So I think it's going to be a fantastic change over the 2022 year. Just to give our viewers a couple ideas of what this is going to impact, being in cybersecurity, if you're dealing with viruses, Dridex, Emotet, Qbot, TrickBot, all of these malware families one of the easiest ways to actually get hit with it is open up a Microsoft Office attachment with a macro. It's as simple as it's going to just do a call and it's going to pull something down. And it could be ThreatX, Emotet, QBot, any of those, plus anything else that you can do with the macro. So I'm really looking forward to it. And yeah, I'd love to get you guys' thoughts on this.
I'm actually excited about this feature because it's going to allow certain organizations who might not have such mature capabilities to stop, prevent, or even detect the malware. I think it'll help them be better protected. There's like hundreds of thousands of small businesses out there where they're not really geared to have all of this protective mechanism. So as much as can come out of the box for a software like Office to protect the users, I think the better. One thing that worries me potentially is that, it's probably something that is always there, which is the ingenuity of the bad guys. Whenever we put a roadblock in front of them as part of defense, they're always quick to adapt and try something different. So I know that they will adapt, and it will be interesting to see the evolution just from like a security research perspective. What they decide to go to, or how they decide to go next. To keep getting those installs on computers. But this does seem to be like a good measure, and I think it will protect many more users than previously. It'll certainly make it a lot harder for people to click and make a mistake accidentally. So I think it's something that's a very positive step.
Absolutely. Just going back to it from an email security perspective, social engineering perspective, there's ways that someone can actually manipulate the situation to get around this. But it's going to make it difficult for them. But obviously, bigger walls, bigger ladders, it's that ongoing thing. But yeah, from your perspective, I'm interested to see how that is going to change in the threat landscape.
Yeah, I agree. I think Stan make a great point with how this is going to help companies who don't have like a robust all-around security plan, right, to catch this, to look for this behavior. And I think it may even help bigger corporations, bigger companies, because it adds another level of auditing to this process. So now companies, and I'm sure that there'll be a security event, right, that Microsoft will build into this that will show the user going to the properties and literally checking that box. And maybe there was one already for those who click enable, right, in the macro, but it's another way to track the behavior of their employees, right? Like they can say, okay, why did this launch, right, in the environment? Oh, look, we see that the user actually went and did properties and actually allowed this file to go through. In this case, nobody allowed it, but it got through somehow. So that's them pivoting, right, to maybe somehow coming up with a fake signature, or however Microsoft is going to be checking this. So it's going to be very cool and interesting to see, like, how the bad actors pivot and how this can help from an auditing perspective to maybe get some more awareness to the employees to say, hey, you guys, now you're actually actively going through this process to let this stuff in. So we need to take a step back and review how we read emails and what we're allowing. So it's very cool. It's a long time coming, and anything that could be done to at least slow these people down would be interesting to see. So this is a great story. I look forward to it.